Baby and his baby mama got into a heated altercation for some unknown reason, and now he wants her out of his house. Apparently, she did not comply with his request, and she started to behave erratically and violently towards the baby. Due to this behavior, the baby took to Instagram Live to try and capture her behavior for everyone to see. He also called the cops on her. So let's see. Let's roll the clip.
Live, he got the phone in his hand. Eat that shit.
There you go.
Yeah, there I go. You.
Bitch, it's cuckoo for Cocoa Puff.
Yeah, whatever, bitch. Shut the up. Yeah, you want to record me talking about shut the
I gotta record you for my safety.
Yeah, go ahead. This the first thing.
You ain't finna that man down. Get your phone. Let me close it first.
Where's he at? Where's he at? Where's he at? Yeah, whatever. He want to call the cops?
Now, what is currently happening to the baby happens to a lot of men, whether they are successful or not. It seems to be something that is not widely covered by the mainstream media or really discussed all that much. And that specific topic is domestic violence in regards to men being the victims. We always have the conversation about men abusing women and how that's such a serious issue. And I think most of us agree with that. But that's about 95% of the conversation. We almost never discuss when women are the perpetrators of domestic violence and what consequences that has to the family unit, specifically the kids. Now, in this altercation, the baby did something smart. In his dispute with his baby mama, he started to record the situation to try to keep a record of her behavior, which was, at the moment, aggressive. The baby also claimed that she chased him around the property, yelled at him, and started to beat him before he even turned on the camera.
And that charges were filed against Danny Lay. According to officers, November 14th, they responded to a domestic assault call for service at a home. Upon arrival, the baby said that he had been assaulted by Danny Lay. And then in a separate incident on November 15th,
long story short, you make them kids deal with what come with it, handle them kids. But don't let nobody play with your character, man, and damage your integrity as a father out here. Don't let nobody play real life games for a fake world. I'm an entertainer, I rap, I do what I do, but when it comes to like parenting, like I don't wish to mix the two. Only reason why the world know I got kids because I adore my kids. You get what I'm saying? And I'm really that type of father, on and off the internet. Hearing was what it was.
a side bitch.
Shout is not my girl. Ain't never been my girl. Is my side bitch.
It's your what?
My side bitch. Shawty is a certified side bitch.
Yeah, I don't understand why guys talk about the mother of their children like that, because when you talk to the mother of your child like that, you got to ask yourself some questions. If she was just a side chick, why you shot her club up? Why you impregnated her? Why was you hitting it raw?
I mean, it's,
like I got homeboys who complain about their baby mothers all the time, and I'm like, well, you chose to let off in her. So, you know, you should respect the mother of your child.
You could
Even if you have to leave for a while just to make sure that you're not going to get into an altercation, going live and antagonizing her, she just had a baby. The baby is 3 months old. She might be going through all kinds of hormonal things. She just had a baby. The baby is 3 months old. She just had a baby. The baby is 3 months old. She just had a baby. The baby is 3 months old.
I can't leave. I can't leave.
Look at this.
I can't leave. I've been sitting up all night. I can't get no sleep. This
Your
is
sleep, okay.
this is get
You're
out.
a fucking dog.
This is get out.
Like,
Nigga.
that's funny.
This is some
Funny
trapper.
as fuck.
This some trapper black nigga shit playing gone wrong.
Yeah.
That,
Came at me last night, you idiot.
shout out, you beg me. You be
just came at
begging
me
me.
last night, you idiot.
This some jail.
asked
Hey,
you,
somebody
why
tell
you
Maury to
coming?
call
I
baby,
asked
man. Let me run up a quick 10M.
Yeah, okay. Don't ever
Let me run
disrespect our
up. Let me run up a
fucking
quick
child like
10M. Somebody tell Maury to call me.
She might be going through all kinds of hormonal things. You know, you just, I think, want to make sure first and foremost your baby is good, which also means the mother is good.
They didn't catch no fair one. They came and jumped me once I slipped. I spoke to you like a man. I say, yo, come, let's talk one-on-one like some men. Me and you on the side.
I want to give all the praises and the honor to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shah Bahashem, Rachaha Kwadash, and double honors to the elder apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. Also, sincere honors, shalom to your other brethren, you followers of the truth, even you few sisters, and shalom to the elect. Anyway, I want to go in this video here. I'll try to make it quick as possible. This situation is an example of what we say biblically. And what I will also say, that this is a product of Christianity. And we'll also show you that it definitely fits us as the curses of the Bible. You don't hear about any other nationality going through these things and being exposed and catching that much hell. Now, if we were meant to be sub-Saharan Africans, if we were meant to be just brought out black slaves, as they say we have the mark of Cain, then we would continue in the works of a heathen, and we wouldn't have the problems we having. We're having the problems we having because of so-called blacks and Native Americans, because we were someone else that was brought to believe in a different belief or religion. And it's all white Christianity. Now this guy, the baby, he having issues with the baby mother. He calls it a side chick or whatever the case is, and that's the way it goes. Now, according to the scriptures, he said he just wants to take care of his children, or his child, and do what he do. But there was nothing wrong, and this is why he's having a problem. There was nothing wrong with having more than one wife. This is all Christianity. And if we knew this and this was our heritage, there would be less issues, right? Because this is what the whole argument is about. He messing with different women. Now, I also say, because Isaiah 29:16, everything is backwards, if he was domestically putting his hands on her and beating her and dragging her, across the room. Now, when I took this clip off of the Breakfast Club, there was something that was very disturbing in what the lady said. She said, what her name, Angela Lee or whatever, I don't know. She said, well, why didn't he leave? And the Jake said, well, it's his house. And then the other person, whoever there, said, well, he should have just still left. Now, it's his house, and he's willing to take care of his child. I know, because I've been through that. When they say the pen is mightier than the sword, yeah, it is in this society, right? And this man is the one that's blessed with that sword, right? So this is the sickness of a product of Christianity, how everything is backwards. And the simps, man, it's out of control. It's just way out of control. Their whole mindset was, how do you talk to your baby mama like that? Well, remember, he's the father, so it's his seed. So how does the mother talk to him like that? All the names she called him, how does she put her hands on him, smacking him around? Didn't she know that's the father of her child? See, when it comes to us as Jakes, we're not looked at with any kind of sympathy, even according to Eve. Right? It's always about Eve. Why he, all of a sudden the delicateness of a woman has become superior. Right? Now she has total control because of the so-called delicateness, right? Right. Let's go to Deuteronomy 28:54. So the man that is tender among you and very delicate, his eyes shall be evil toward his brother, and toward his wife of his bosom, and toward the remnant of his children, which he shall leave. Why? Because of the curses. And what are the curses? Because we're under this man's system. You cannot you're a royal line, but you can't do what royal men do. And then her brother, Dana Lee or whatever, her brother comes in, they're fighting him, and then you know what happens? The gang violence starts. He gets shot, or the brother gets shot. He's in the ground, or one doing a life sentence. They don't really care about you killing each other. They give you the life sentence to take your ass off the street. So you could do what they need to do in there. A lot of things I can't say. But there's a reason for that. They don't really care. So, and then the family will say, well, I have justice. They don't really care. There's a reason why they want you in there for that cheap labor. That's another video. It's about ruining lives, man. But you know what this Eve going to do? Dana Lee. She's going to move on. She's going to get a new man, a new life, and do exactly what she did all over again. Right? So that he will not give to any of them of the flesh of his children whom he shall eat, because he have nothing left in him in the siege. Now, going into besiege is going back to like 70 AD, A siege is when they cut off supplies. And that, so when you go to Deuteronomy 28, sometimes it's going into, it goes back and forth in history. But let me go to 56. The tender and delicate woman among you, which would not have ventured to set the sole of her foot upon the ground for delicateness and tenderness. I mean, there's a whole bunch of scriptures come to mind. Titus, the 2nd chapter, Ecclesiastes. We'll get that too, Lord's will. For tenderness, her eyes shall be evil toward her husband of her bosom and toward her son. And we see this example. The people on the comment board, we need to train up our sons not to be so emotional, right? See how it all flipped? But meanwhile, Eve is allowed to commit great havoc on the earth along with her loved one, right? Her real loved one. We need to train the sons. We need to take care of the sons. Last time I remembered, I didn't see, I don't see the sons being taken care of. These young men, nope. And they're going to blame the fathers. But there's no excuse for being a parent, even if you're a mother. But this is what it is, man. This is the curses. And toward her daughter. There's another clip where the young lady was TikToking. She got killed. Twerking. And the Jake busted in there and kicked in the door and shot her up. And then you can see the interview with the mother. The mother standing there. She's all dolled up. That's all I can say. So you can see where it all runs on under, man. It's become a selfish society, which it always has been. But it's more selfish now. And toward her young one that cometh out of her between her feet, and toward her children which she shall bear. Okay, so this is going back into, it goes to 70 AD, but you can pull some of these curses out of here, right, and apply it to today, right? So anyway, I want to get another story. Going to Esther, you got to read the whole chapter. This is why these queens, it never really worked, man. You set it up, and these Jakes, it's really discouraging, very discouraging that these Jakes on the Breakfast Club, they're only concerned about Eve, and he said, look, I'm willing to be a father. And they said, well, how can you talk? It's very disgusting. You shouldn't talk to your... This is why these guys are all set up. They are set up to promote the Queen of Heaven as well. You can read Jeremiah, the 44th chapter. They all promote it. There's no new thing under the sun. Now, again, I'm not saying we condone we don't teach to go beat on women, to leave your children, which the God said he wasn't going to leave his children, and you're really not supposed to leave your wife for any, reason, unless, well, for a reason, but you're not supposed to unlawfully just throw her off. Now, I don't know what happened and what happened, meddle not in a man's affairs, so I don't know what happened, but if he knew the law, if she knew the law, if she knew the scriptures, a lot of this would be diffused. So you're trapped. You Jakes are in the trap house, as they call it. He's a rapper, go to the, you're in the trap house. All right, I'm going to just hit the points. This was about the queen of, I believe, the Media Persia. I can't remember all of it. Vashti, I think. Vashti, I'll read a little bit. Vashti the queen made a feast for women in the royal house which belongeth to King Ahasuerus, right? And on the 7th day, when the heart of the king was merry with wine, he commanded basically the 7 princes or whatever, the 7 chamberlains that served him the presence of Ahasuerus the king, to bring Vashti, right, the queen before the king with the crown royal, to shew the other people and the princes her beauty, for she was fair to look on. Now you'll see Jake today. The woman will doll herself up just for Jake to walk out in the public, just to feel like he's made an accomplishment. And then Eve will use that same accomplishment against him and roll with it. But meanwhile, you're displaying yourself amongst others. Anyway, but the Queen Vashti refused to come at the king's commandment by the chamberlains. Therefore was the king very wroth, and his anger burned at him. You know, that's what happened when you put them queens up, man. I'm going to go to verse 15. I'm going to just skip through this. What shall we do unto Queen Vashti according to the law? Because she have not performed the commandment of the king Ahasuerus by the chamberlains. And Memucan answered before the king and the prince, Vashti the queen have not done wrong to the king only, but also to the princes and to all the people that are in the province of the king Ahasuerus. For this deed the queen shall come abroad unto all women, so that they shall despise their own husbands. Right? And do we see a similarity? The king Ahasuerus commanded Vashti the queen to be brought in before him, but she came not. So apparently this queen was very stubborn, right? Very stubborn. Let me go to verse 22. You got to read the whole thing. I'm just getting to the points. For he sent letters into all the kings and provinces, into every province according to the writings. Therefore, because they made a commission to replace her, to every people after their language, that every man should bear rule in his own house, and that it should be published according to the language of every people. So this guy, the baby, he doesn't understand, and a lot of Jakes, which I take my hat off to Floyd Mayweather, he understands that, hey man, if I go so-called get married, and I don't think this man even married her. I mean, they're married according, if you go into the scriptures, but I mean according to the world. It's still, you're still hung up there. And then this guy said in the Breakfast Club, I won't forget that either, he wasn't, why did he let off in the woman if you knew, like you don't know. That's the whole trickery of Eve, man. The deception. That's what you don't know. Like, you think these guys really would have did that if they knew how these Eves were? But then on the vice versa era, nobody says, well, you knew this man was a hustler, or he rapped about gang banging, he was a thug. Nope, nobody says anything about that. You know, and that's the sickness. Let's go to Ecclesiastes 25 and 24. Of the woman came the beginning of sin, and through her we all die. You know, these guys are about to shoot and kill each other over this whole situation. You right? And again, not condoning violence. We don't teach that. But this is all a part of Christianity, because the doctrine of Christianity is spread even through the court systems in every facet of life, that this is what you should do when you get a wife. You got to marry her. You'll go into the courthouse, which is probably even a little bit better than going into the church, right? You know, you go into the source, but it's the same thing. And you put the ring on the finger, right? Which that wedding finger represents the artery or something. It's all witchcraft, man. But then you get married, and then next thing you know, you'd think this Eve would have messed with Jake if he wasn't some top rapper or something, man. And then nobody's exempt. Nobody's exempt. This guy Anthony Anderson just got a divorce, right? There's quite a few men are now getting divorced. So it ain't about your status anymore. It's Eve, Queen Vashti, turning up. Stubborn, not listening, doing whatever Eve wants to do. And this is the madness of it all, man. I don't really have much else to say on it. I just wanted to speak that part. You're never going to get a fair shake in this society because the rulers of darkness ruling. and through the queens, who is so delicate and so soft and always in trouble, is always favored through her delicateness. These guys could say nothing about her abusing him and beating on him, and where he has to record it just for protection. This man is a top rapper thug who got to call the police, and you know what happened? The police never kicked her out. She stayed there. Now, let's say if it was reversed, he was beating on her, doing all kinds of things to her. She recorded it, called the police. Guess what? His black ass would have been locked the hell up. Anyway, that's all I have on that. Shalom.